Please bring in our first guest right now, CPAC Chairman Matt Schlapp. Matt, welcome in. Always good to see you.
Great to be with you, Bianca.
You know, these are heartbreaking stories. We had Joe Biden at the beach over the weekend. Kamala Harris, of course, focused on fundraising. And the media coverage is somewhat perplexing, too. Politico is criticizing Donald Trump, talking about him right here in a headline, saying he brings Hurricane Helene into the 2024 campaign. And in 2020, though, they had this other headline, that Biden, when it was Biden, has to harness the incredible anger over Puerto Rican voters in Florida over Trump's handling of Hurricane Maria. Right there says it all, how the liberal media and how the press will find any way to villainize Donald Trump. Today he'll be in Georgia. Joe Biden says it's going to take him a few days.
Yeah. The impacted areas as soon as possible. But I've been told that it would be disruptive if I did it right now.
I mean, right there with Joe Biden at the beach yet again. We haven't even started to talk about the Middle East. Do you think voters are paying attention now, Matt?
So, Bianca, you know, I've been around this game a long time. Hurricane Andrew hits Florida, and George H.W. Bush is basically blamed for slow response, which has a big impact on that presidential race. We had Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana, New Orleans, this infamous hurricane. I think over 1,000 people died, and George W. Bush was literally blamed for those deaths. He was blamed for not being on the ground earlier. I mean, they destroyed his whole second term over the response to Hurricane Katrina. Donald Trump was criticized for not getting the power grid up in Puerto Rico. It had been decades of graft associated with building the power grid in Puerto Rico, but they blamed Donald Trump. And here we are. You have this devastating hurricane in North Carolina. Our president, their standard bearer, Kamala Harris, they're nowhere to be seen. And you know, all of a sudden, it's just a local tragedy. Isn't it sad? As Joe Biden said, wow, those pictures, those pictures were amazing. Any Republican comes out and starts talking about seeing pictures instead of being down there on the ground, you know, they're ready to string him up by his ankles. And it just shows you that the media's in the bag for the bad guys.
Yep. Absolutely. And Joe Biden struggling even to make those comments. He was coughing a lot, didn't sound well at all. And here we have it, too. He was asked about the Middle East. He started to talk about a ceasefire yet again, where we're getting reports right now, just within the past 10 minutes, Matt, Yemen's Houthis say they will escalate military response in response to Israel. Of course, the Houthis there controlling, you know, a lot of the shipping lanes in the Red Sea. We have Yoav Gallant and others saying that a ground invasion now is imminent. And Joe Biden, the folks there at the White House, his well, I know about it, he said, within the past hour, but we want a ceasefire. The mixed messaging as well as Israel is making extreme success when it comes to attacking Hezbollah, of course, but now wondering what this means for Iran's next calculation.
Yeah, so there's this difference between a ceasefire and Israel being unable to defend itself. So those are two different things, and it's very important for us to remember that. So I think Donald Trump is right when he says he can bring a ceasefire in Europe with this conflict between Ukraine and Russia. And I think he can do the same in the Middle East. I don't think either situation is easy, but I think the problem for Joe Biden is that you can't ever cure when you've demonstrated to the world that you will be an appeaser and be weak. We know this from Neville Chamberlain going forward. Once you're seen as an appeaser and weak, the bad guys will run roughshod over you. And this is something Netanyahu feared after the October attack, which looked like Israel wasn't prepared. Israel looked weak. And that's one of the reasons why Netanyahu's poll numbers are rough, because the people of Israel, you know, are still angry that they weren't ready for this attack. Now, he's made up for it a lot, and I applaud him for the steps he's taken to defend his people. But one of the most dangerous things for the entire freedom-loving people across this globe is when America projects weakness. Vladimir Putin looks like he's having his way with us. Iran looks like it's having its way with us. And we just need Joe Biden to get out of that White House. And we need to put Donald Trump into that White House. And even if you don't like all the Trump policies, if you have young grandkids or young kids and you want them to not be just thrown into this craziness that's going on around the globe and be aiding the wrong side in some of these conflicts, like Biden's embrace of Iran, the mullahs in Iran, you got to get Donald Trump in that White House to solve this problem.